article, I guess, that kind of described a service that I provide for people called Creating the Hypnotic Experience for Bonding Clients to Your Practice. And it kind of fascinated people and got them real curious about things, so they wanted more information. So I thought I would just do like a general presentation that kind of explains it at least a little bit to kind of get a feel for what I'm talking about. And I want to state basically that Creative Transformations, we provide a variety of services as far as like consulting, professional training, one-on-one training, mentoring, that type stuff. That's basically our specialty, so to speak, is mind development, psychological skills, learning to work with people at all different kinds of levels. And when we talk about the mind, we're not referring to the brain, right, or the thinking, conscious mind. When we refer to mind development, we're talking about working with the whole body, the whole system, including the energy field. And our whole attitude and approach to everything is holistic, and we look at everything as far as big pictures go, and look at the whole situation when working with it, rather than just little single compartments or little departments within a group. So, and we do, naturally specialize in people and developing, techniques, skills, methods for using using your mind in a very skillful way to engage people, which is primarily done at the unconscious level, which means they're not really aware of what you're doing. They just think you're a really nice person, and for some reason they really like you. So, and I want to say that I'm of course a hypnosis practitioner, kind of a specialist in hypnosis, but I don't do hypnosis in terms of the typical practitioner where you book an appointment, you go and you sit down in a chair, and you got an hour appointment, we're going to induce a trance and gives you suggestions, that type of stuff. But I take the same idea of hypnosis, or the same what's really happening in the hypnotic state, so to speak, break it down to basic principles and apply it to whole situations, or apply it to groups, businesses, different, in a very unified manner, to a whole group of people who are performing or in charge of creating a process, all with a specific outcome in mind. So, because one of the primary basis of hypnosis is creating a state of harmony, which is a state that's very congruent and consistent throughout the process, in terms of eliciting a specific type of experience. And I do want to say, because this always comes up, that there's something about when a person is acting unconscious, right? They're just going in and they're going for it and they're just doing a process, and they don't have like a conscious awareness of working with a person's mind, or certainly the subconscious mind, at a skillful level, than they do when they're using mind skills and working at a very skillful level. They have a feeling, and when they're actually empowered, and this could be part of the experience that they're having that they're not used to actually, is that they feel empowered all of a sudden and responsible. With empowerment comes responsibility, but they feel like they're being manipulative. And I want to kind of point out that whether you're acting unconsciously or consciously, you are basically manipulating a situation just by being in it and influencing it, or imposing an influence by how you're interacting, how you're being, how you're treating someone, the language you're using, and how you're talking to that person. So you're always in a state of manipulating. But the real question, I think, becomes, because when you're very skillful and you're conscious in a situation, you walk in and you've got an intention, you've got a desired outcome, and you're saying, what skills do I need to employ here to make this experience go a certain way so that it results in the desired outcome. And that can feel manipulative, but the difference is if you have a bad intention and your outcome that you're trying to produce is for your own good, for self, gratification, self-fulfillment, and you're certainly setting an intention to cause harm somehow, or you're not acting in that person's best interest, so to speak, then you are manipulating with the bad, the bad taste in your mouth type manipulating. But if you walk in with a good intention and the outcome that you're setting for that experience is one where healing is going to take place, and it's going to take place in the most beneficial, congruent, positive way possible for the client, that's just plain skill. Okay, so there's a huge difference, and that's a positive kind of manipulation, because if you're manipulating people to a more beneficial end, that's a form of healing. So, and it's also kind of working with what we call the placebo effect, right? Which some people kind of trip up on this one a little bit too, because there's like this kind of like struggle between, am I actually healing and providing the process that's causing the healing, or is the client, am I really just performing in such a way that the client believes they're going to be healed, and so they heal themselves, okay? And I won't address that issue in this video because it's kind of an ethical issue, but to certainly say that in any situation, regardless of how we look at it, to gain rapport with the person and to instill a belief in them that you know what you're doing, you're competent, that you're going to heal them, that this is going to result in me being, okay, then then you are in fact being a skillful doctor, and that's called bedside manner, or that's called just your style and being able to perform at a higher level. So, but it's all designed to induce healing. But anyway, back to the hypnotic process, and the other thing that we want to look at is the orientation that we take in a situation, because the typical orientation is we conduct our business from our perspective, right? Who we are, what we do, what our mission is, the equipment we've got sitting in the back room, and we don't really take the attitude of saying, okay, let's look at it from the client's perspective, and if we're talking about hypnotizing them into creating a very bonding and personal type experience, how do we do that? And so we have to get out and look at it from the client's perspective. And the other thing is, instead of breaking it off into little compartments that we're trying to train and troubleshoot to be proficient at their jobs, we're going to say to ourselves, let's look at it in terms of the experience that we're creating for the client. Because the experience indicates a whole process. The experience that we create, which in the hypnotic state, it's important that we have rapport, which means we have a sense of harmony and smooth flow throughout the entire process, which is what hypnotizes people, right? That smooth, flowing, positive, mesmerizing, charismatic type of experience induces a state of what we call enchantment, which is a very positive emotion that basically people really feel connected to you. They feel they can really relate to you. They feel really comfortable here. They like you, right? They like being here. They like everything about you, so to speak. But so we want to say, okay, let's look at it from a client-centered approach, and let's look at it, instead of saying customer service, let's look at it from creating the most positive experience possible for our client, in which the desired outcome is more likely to take place, right? And we're going to view this as being part of the service that we offer, not look at it as though the only service we offer is what takes place at the end, or takes place in the exam room, or takes place on the table, or no. Our service that we provide is the whole process, okay? So, and the other thing that we want to keep in mind is that what's happening with the client when they come to your practice, when they engage with you. And I'm not talking about, what I want to talk about is the whole experience, and realizing that people are in a constant state of evaluation all the time. And what they're doing is they're sitting here and they're looking for evidence that they can use to pull out and put together to form an opinion, right? So these are what we call convincers, evidence that's used for convincers. So, and this starts from the minute the first time they call you on the telephone and they talk to your receptionist, they're forming an opinion. Does this person sound like a nice person? Are they polite? Are they treating me well? Do I feel comfortable with this person? Is she helpful, or he, or are they helpful? Are they answering my questions? You know what I mean? Do I have any kind of confusion? All these things are going on based on the first telephone call. And then let's say that goes good, so then you book the appointment, and they come in for the appointment. As they're driving up to your place of business or your practice, they're looking at the building, they're looking at, is it clean, does it look organized, is the landscape in nice shape? And again, this is forming another opinion. They walk in, same thing goes on throughout the entire process. What does the lobby look like? Is it colorful? Is it pretty? Is there nice things to look at? Do they look successful? Okay, this is something people get kind of twisted on, but it's like, if you look successful, that's related to competence, right? People who are good at what they do tend to do well financially. So, but you know, now you got a live person standing in front of you, and it's like, you know, what's the experience they have with the receptionist? When they sit down, is their music playing? Is the environment pleasant? I mean, you got to look at every single aspect throughout the whole process and create it in such a way that the client is having what we call an optimal experience, or the most positive. You're constantly stimulating and bringing out very positive emotions for a very positive experience, and you're giving them evidence that's going to build an opinion that's of a very positive nature. This works with the belief system of the client, helps them to set an expectation for whatever service that you're providing them for. This is also attached to rapport, but that's a different training and kind of a different system that goes hand in hand with. But this is more the one-on-one interaction that takes place with either the staff with the person, or certainly the doctor or practitioner with the client or the patient, that really has a bonding effect of the client to your practice. And it creates loyalty. It creates a feeling of, I like you, you know me here, I feel comfortable here. I think you know what you're doing. You seem competent, so I'm going to believe what you're telling me. And they set an expectation for a positive outcome, and they associate you to being a very pleasant experience, so they like coming here, right? And when you build this type of rapport and this type of loyalty with your clients, unless something happens that's pretty drastic, you've pretty much got them for life. I mean, that's how, particularly in personal services, people are very loyal to people that they like, and when they have a positive experience, they tend to come back for more. So you don't have to worry about other people stealing your clients if you're doing your job. So, but anyway, these are the type of services that we offer. They're psychological skills that work with the mind in a holistic fashion, and we provide the training that's kind of a higher level that emphasizes the experience in a situation, the experience of the client as well, and we mold that experience to, of course, the identity and the personality of the practice, or your exact business model and the exact nature of your business, the exact personalities that you have employed that are performing all these experiences and are out there actually doing your business for you, so to speak. But it's all about custom design programs to meet your very specific needs in the most beneficial way possible with the exact staff that you currently are employed. So, so that's kind of a basic idea of the nature of our services and what type of services that we offer, as well as various other training programs, mentoring. We work one-on-one to help you develop personal skills, and then we provide the mentoring for ongoing implementation, so that you can practice your skills, over a period of time, to become very good at them, to get very skillful with them. So, but if you're interested, or if this sounds like something that's appealing to you, shoot me an email. The email address is at the bottom of the screen, or check out our website at creativetransformations.biz, and we'd be happy to help you in any way that we can. So we look forward to serving you.